Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Film Freaks.
Show for film fun and all things entertainment.
I'm Jesse Galan,
And I am super freaking excited, Avi Flores.
and today we're going to be discussing Logan.
Yes! Oh my goodness! Oh man, you guys, you have no idea. Yes, we are getting into this fantastic, amazing Logan film that, oh man, is this what we've been wanting?
Oh man, for the last 20 years, man. This is the best X-Men film ever.
Yeah, it's so good. Everything about this film, I don't even know what to start with what I like because it was just so good.
And I mean, like, just it's a modernized Western. I really felt that... I mean, just watching the film, it made me kind of remember back when Romeo and Juliet made their film with DiCaprio, where it's a modernization of the screenplay, but then using the old English, to kind of give it the old feel. In a sense, that's kind of what they did here, where they took the modernized, the real, the future world, and then just added the Western elements, and it just seamlessly works so damn well.
Yeah, they did such a good job. Balancing like the slow story points and the story development and mixing in like the super over the top crazy awesome action. They did really good job of mixing it up well and pacing it in it so it didn't ever feel dull or too much at the same time. Like they did such a good job of that and it just flowed awesome. And I loved Charles Professor X's character in this movie. He did such an awesome job, and you can really tell if you've really been keeping track watching all the movies of their relationship, and that really showed throughout the film.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see the father and son relationship that they've kind of developed over the years.
Right on.
A very strong bond. And at the same time, you see a broken Logan.
Yeah.
You saw him from the rabid Wolverine to a very lovable character, a character who's fallen in love and who's completely turned, the 180.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, he's so broken because of his past experiences. The people that he's loved has suffered, either a hideous death or just ends up dying. So you can see the struggle that he has and the rage that he has within him.
That. I mean, and God, they did just finally like such a solid X-Men film. And I have to watch this a couple more times so I can really process through it. But man, I really don't, or they really haven't given us this type of X-Men movie ever. I really loved Days of Future Past, and that First Class was really good, and the original X-Men, those are the ones I enjoy the most. And the X-Men standalone films, like, don't even don't even bother with those. But wow, it was such an awesome, just great movie that they finally were able to put together and show us Logan Wolverine like in all his glory and just going ham, going crazy rage mode, which was amazing. They showed little bits of that in other movies, just little tiny bits of that, but this was Wolverine full on, and I loved it. I can't, wow, like just leaving the theater, I was like,
yeah, I actually had chills, and we'll get on to this a little later. I got to open my feels, it's such a great film. Yeah. I really, I was really invested in watching this film, not because of the previous movies, because I enjoyed as well the last three. The first three were kind of but this movie, we can't even emphasize this enough. This movie really, not only does it kind of continue the storyline in a sense, but it's a completely standalone, a different feel. And I think part of it was that they got away from saying this is an action hero movie and said let's tell a story and pick a genre. Yeah. They decided let's go Western, and man, it's like emphasizes this enough. Cannot emphasize this. Yeah. It is just that damn good.
Right, and if this is truly Hugh Jackman's last film, man, I am beyond over the top grateful that he went out this way. Absolutely. And they were able to put together a movie like this finally to call it quits, because I loved his performances in all the X-Men movies, but this one finally won by himself. Like, awesome, this is it, my last ride, I'm done. And they ended on a perfect note for him. So I'm super excited on that. So let's get into the scoring, man.
Yeah, let's start with story.
Absolutely.
Story was fan-frickin-tastic.
Yes.
We got to see a broken drunkard and of a Wolverine, which, it took me by surprise. I mean, again, showing the brokenness of this character and all his struggles and having to deal with a really big loss that we will eventually find out throughout the film, with losing all of the X-Men, and he's just really the last person.
Yep.
To finding out, having a daughter, and then so forth, and just how they connected everything, how they tied it emotionally. Yeah. Which is, it's not really easy to do. Right. But you tied the story, the character that we love, and it tied it emotionally with the story. And man, like, I don't know how many times I felt throughout the story. I just want to like tug at the heart, a little teardrop. Exactly. I just loved it.
Yeah, like not only him bearing everything him personally he's had to deal with, but then at the same time caring for Charles. You know what I mean? Like, this is his mentor. This is his father figure that he grew up with, and he's nowhere near the man that he once was, even though they do show glimpses of it throughout the film of who Charles really is, and still giving him advice and still mentoring Logan after all these years, still being able to do that and using his powers. It was cool that they still show that, but then at the same time they show how far gone he is from the person that he is, and how he's really like a danger to everybody around him. So it was cool the way they balanced that, still showing Charles who he is, and yet like the danger that he is now. So story was fantastic. I loved everything about it. Definitely. Yeah, the way it was paced, the elements that they had in there, like Jay was just saying, the development of Charles and Logan, and dealing, because the Logan that we've always gotten is like this more angry, like anger, like I don't know who I am, I'm angry, just frustrated kind of. And this one was like such a different, like Jay was saying, like more broken, sad, like what are we working towards now? Like he's just trying to find a way out and run away from the pain that has amounted to the however 200-300 years that he's been around.
I mean, we even discussed this on the drive back, and it was like, can you even imagine 300 years of brokenness? Yeah. Or, close to that. I'm sure it was about 300 years by this time. Right. And just suffering after suffering and suffering and loss after loss. I don't blame this guy for being the way that he was at the start of the movie. Yeah. It was very, very heartbreaking to see him. But then, but at the same time, it's almost kind of like the progression of this character. Yeah, exactly. It's a very tragic story to be
Absolutely. With. So you have always known the emotional, mental side of the weight that he carries, but now in this film, his body's finally starting to catch up the same way, where it's just not the same anymore. And saying, kind of hinting and really indirectly saying that the adamantium has finally like started to poison him, and it's really causing the end of him. And you see like he can't really retract and take his claws out as
heal as fast.
He can't heal as fast. A lot of his powers and the sickness that he has himself is definitely starting to break him down physically. So he isn't the beast that he was once, even though he like
he manhandles everybody.
Yeah, in the movie. But I love, like we were talking, like he was getting his ass handed to him in this movie. Like absolutely, like when he got a hold of you and when he went rage mode, okay, no chance. But he was getting handled in this movie, and you could tell that he's not as fast, his senses are not on point anymore. Like he's a Logan that's come at the end of his rope, and he's like barely. Like I said, when he gets on you, you're done. But it was a struggle for him to really fight and progress through the healing and just deal with the physical pain that he was going through. So it was awesome that they showed that on Logan. So I definitely give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, hands down. No question asked 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then let's go with performances. And man, talk about Oscar-worthy performances.
My goodness.
My favorite is that little, Laura.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she caught me by surprise.
Such a great job.
Really, because I mean, it's really difficult to train, a young kid to be a great actor or actress, but her performance, about 80% of the movie is just her literally just performing, no words being spoken. Yep. And just you could see the rage, you can see the range of emotions through her body language and her facial expressions. To me, it was just like mind blowing. Yeah. Really well done. Charles, of course, Patrick Stewart.
Fantastic.
Always on point, and Hugh Jackman. I mean, these guys are already legends. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Hugh is so far beyond the character of Wolverine, even though he's like synonymous with it. But his acting range and what he does, being a Broadway actor and a fantastic cinema actor, he's just great, and he did Logan, he did him justice. You know, I know a lot of people were crazy that they picked this guy to play him because he's not the exact build, even though he's like, you know, a buff city. But man, did he play this actor great, and I loved it. I loved his performance through the year. So it's I'm gonna be a little sad because I love Wolverine, the character. He's my favorite. So we're probably not gonna get a Wolverine. I'm hoping that probably X-23 moves forward as the Wolverine.
I would love to see that.
Which I don't know a lot about her, but it'll be cool. I'm all about switching it up. You know, even though I love Logan or Hugh Jackman and what he has done, it'll be good to get something fresh, right. Especially with Fox moving forward with New Mutants and another X-Men franchise with Cyclops and Jean Grey and all them. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with X-23 and Mr. Sinister and all the stuff that they dropped during this movie. So yeah, absolutely. She did a fantastic job. She really did. I love the little girl, and everything else. Like even the Donald Pierce, like as the evil kind of dude. Like I really liked what he brought to the table, and Caliban, he did a really good job too. I liked him. Yeah, I forgot the actor's name, but he did a great job.
Fantastic.
So across the board, it was great. You know, just great performances. So again, 5 out of 5 for me. It was just fantastic. Absolutely loved it. And finally, visuals. That's the last of it here. We're coming down to the final. Visuals were good. I mean, I didn't think there was like anything
over the top
amazing, but it was nothing that was like it was pretty much what we expected. You know what I mean? Like they delivered. There was only a couple times where the CGI was a little off. And I always hate that because it's like, come on, guys. Like I don't know. Like, it bugs me a little bit, but not too much kind of thing.
It didn't bug me at all this time around because the story was so damn good. My personal issue with the first two Logan or Wolverine film was that it was heavily CGI.
Right.
And the story significantly suffers.
My goodness,
which brings back to my point of, you know, how much more CGI versus story. Yeah. Like, I always believe that if you have too much CGI, you have craptacular story. Mm-hmm. And if you have great story, your CGI will suffer a little bit, which in this case, it wasn't that huge of a suffering significance, but it was enough to tell, and I'm okay with that because the story was so freaking good.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, I can't emphasize that enough.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I agree with everything Jay just said. Just little minor visual parts, especially with the duplicate. Like there was the parts where you could tell that it was Hugh Jackman doing it. And then other parts where you could tell that it was completely CGI'd face. And
which is probably outside of the claws, that's really all the CGI in this film. It was all, you know, it was FX, you know, not digital effects. So, which brings out more element. That makes it feel more real. Exactly. You know, CGI tends to ruin things, and that's with a lot of the superhero genre.
Right.
You know, where you have a lot of CGI, which, you know, isn't a bad thing when you're doing those kind of movies, but this is why this film alone feels different and it's completely set apart and it felt more real.
Absolutely. So, I mean, just for that little part, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because it was good and everything. I mean, his wounds, everything that you saw on the screen looked great. Man, the claws going through people's skulls. Right. It was just fantastic. Just blood everywhere. The girls covered in blood, chopping dudes' heads off. Like,
yes, and I also give it a 4. Again, only because, well, really for 2 reasons. It wasn't, you know, outstanding, over the top, amazing visual effects.
Exactly.
But it was in standard effects, but also used right.
Exactly.
So with that, used right in balance with just bare minimum, just to give us the feel, I'm going to give it a 4.
Absolutely. So overall, we've given it 14 out of 15. Damn near perfect movie. I mean, it's really hard for me to complain about anything about the movie. I am going to watch it a few more times, and then maybe I'll kind of find some more nitpicky things. But, oh, my goodness, walking out of the theater just excited. Going into the movie excited because all I've heard is great things about it. And then walking out and just being like, oh, my God, they finally delivered an amazing X-Men movie. And they just did a great job.
And for me, I walked in skeptical, walking out like, oh, my God, thank you. I honestly feel like this is definitely my second favorite superhero movie.
Right.
Man of Steel, and I know a lot of you guys probably hate Man of Steel, but it's still my favorite film of all the the current superhero stuff. I'm not talking about the Christopher Nolan, because that has its own. To me, that's on a pedestal. But what we currently have for Man of Steel in the Marvel universe, and then including now Logan, Logan stands at number 2, and it's damn near close to a number 1, because this movie is just that amazing.
It really, really is that good, and really has me curious of what they're gonna do moving forward. Like, Logan's dead now. Spoilers, holy crap. But I wonder what they're gonna do, because X-23, she's there. Are they gonna use her with X-Force? Are they gonna use her in any of these new mutant
Avengers?
Things? Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm just really excited because they delivered such a fantastic movie, and this one I will definitely hold near and dear to my heart. But yeah, I mean, they have all these the New Mutants. Fox has all this plan to create. They have Deadpool, so I don't know what they're gonna do moving forward. They have all these young, really baby X-Men mutant kind of things, so I'm just really interested to see what they'll do.
Absolutely. Really quick though, I guess I feel like I was kind of correct at the timeline placement of this film.
Oh yeah.
Even though I don't think they have mentioned exactly.
They haven't
officially
said anything, because they did say it was going to be like its own thing. But I agree with Jesse.
Yeah, like where I feel like it takes place in the original prior to Days of Future Past. It definitely has that feel.
Yeah.
That this happens in the timeline before it gets split into to what it is now.
I agree that's, if I had to put it somewhere, that's where I would put it. With the first X-Men trilogy, it just, like he's saying, the feel of it, everything, the things that they talk about, it feels like that's set up where, like he's saying, when it splits off and then Logan wakes up again and everybody's alive, completely different timeline. Where it just doesn't feel like it would fit in that, future of what's going on there. So, that's what we think. I mean, oh God, we love the film. Let us know what you guys think, your theories. What do you guys think? What's going moving forward? What are they gonna do? I don't know.
Absolutely, because I really want to dissect this. I'm gonna go check it out a couple of times. So leave the comments. We'll definitely be responding, going back and forth. I really want to know what you guys think about the film.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.